As camera modules become more accessible and more ubiquitous, it is becoming a necessity for each and every car on the road right now to have a dashcam. So, when we were approached by DDPai, yes, that's the name, to review their Mola N3 dashcam, we said yes, because this dashcam is surprisingly affordable and it comes packed with a lot of very useful features too. So I've been using it for about a week here, and this is what I have to say about this dashcam. And let's take a look at the box first. It's very nondescript, it's kind of dark, and also it's pretty tiny. At the back of the box here, we have a few specs highlights. So it has a 1600p HD camera. 1600p means that it's still 16:9, but the resolution is 2K plus, not 1440p. And then it also has a high silicon chip. I'm not sure what's their relation with Huawei, but yeah, it is using that Kirin high silicon chip. It also has a GPS module here and also ADAS. We'll get more into that later. So opening up the box, what you get inside is actually very generous of DDPai to include all of them. So number one, of course, you get a dashcam, and then you also got another piece to stick on your windscreen, and then another static sticker, we'll get more into that later, and then a very long micro USB cable for you to route the cable appropriately without obstructions. And then there's also a spudger and also a 2-port car charger, which is very nice of them, but as according to the box here, the DDPai takes 5 volts to amps, so you're only left with that 5 volts 1 amp port for you to charge your phone if you want to. But still, it's nice of them to include this kind of dual port car charger. So let's get into the installation procedure first. So what the static sticker here does is to not directly stick the 3M adhesive directly onto the windscreen, which is kind of damaging. And I've seen cars with this kind of mounting system to have that tinting damaged entirely. So this static sticker is meant to be a buffer if you ever want to remove the dashcam from your car, which is also very nice of them to include such a thing. There's also a camera holder piece which goes in between the dashcam itself and also the static sticker, and this car camera holder thing can also be tilted, which is very nice if you are ever having a sort of a weirdly angled windscreen. And then within this car camera holder thing is also where the GPS module is found, and the micro USB port plugs into this little car camera holder thing, and then the camera plugs into this car camera holder via a USB Type-C. Why they're using a Type-C here is because you can actually flip the camera inwards or outwards, so you can record inside the car or outside the car. It also has a microphone and it records all of the audio that is going inside the car. As far as I was told, if the camera is pointing inwards with the audio recording, it is very important if you're a driver for apps like Uber, Grab, and those kind of recording can actually get you out of trouble in case any sort of dispute happens or if there are any allegations of any mischief. The way I'm going to set up the camera is to point outwards with the cable routing outside through my rear view mirror onto the passenger seat area, and then downwards and then into the car cigarette lighter thing for the charging port. So once I got that routed up, and then I also started up the app and set up everything. And I also plugged in a micro SD card for video capturing as well. Okay, so let's talk about the features that are found on the DDPai Mola N3. So on the website here, what it says is the 1600p HD footages, which is obviously very good, and then GPS positioning. As far as I know, the Mola N3 is also available in GPS and non-GPS versions. So the one we have here is with the GPS version, and we'll get more into that later as well. Because the next feature here is ADAS. It's actually some sort of a assisted driving kind of system going on. If you're changing lanes dangerously, it's supposed to tell you. Throughout my experience, I can't get this feature working, but even in the app itself, I cannot find the option. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but that's just a tiny little detail in this dashcam right here. And then the next feature is 24-hour parking monitoring. You can actually set it in the app for it to take a picture within every minute or so, or if there are any movement, or if the gyro sensor has been triggered. So this feature is useful if you just park your car in a shopping mall, let's just say, and then some idiot crash into your car while they are parking. So this feature is very useful if you just want to capture those kind of situations, which is also very inclusive and very nice of them to include such a feature in the dashcam. And then there's intelligent Wi-Fi connection. So the way this dashcam talks to your phone is actually via Wi-Fi direct, which I think is perfectly fine, because if you want to watch the videos that is captured on the dashcam, then you will need a high-speed connection, and Bluetooth can't handle that. So Wi-Fi direct is the way to go. And lastly, there's loop recording. So I actually stuffed in a 32 gigs micro SD card into the Mola N3. So whenever the card gets full, it will record a new footage and then replace the oldest footage instead. So it will keep the recording going on within the 32 gigs of storage. Okay, so enough about specs and feature highlight. How does the Mola N3 actually works? So from what I tested, this dashcam is actually very good. The footages it captures, it has vivid colors, really clear image, and I can see all of the number plates and car models that is in front of me as well. And I also managed to capture some auto driver without any issues on the DDPai Mola N3. The best thing about the DDPai Mola N3 is that since it's so small, I can hide it behind my rearview mirror, and yeah, no one actually knows that it's there unless they saw the cable and trace it back to the source. And most importantly, if you're from the outside viewing into the car, even the Mola N3 is kind of difficult to spot. And this thing also has a very wide dynamic range, so you can capture footages with various different lighting situations, and the images and videos still look great. Alright, so what about the GPS situation that's going on here? The dashcam actually logs a list of GPS coordinates into the SD card itself, so I know where I have driven to when I need to look at my footages. All of the GPS data is timestamped on the file name itself, so I know exactly where I've been at what time and which date. And speaking of the file name, everything that is recorded into the micro SD card is also nicely labeled and segregated, so it's very tidy if you just want to backtrace to what time and what place that you are at. Overall, I really do like the DDPai Mola N3. Best of all, the price is not really that high as well. If you want the GPS version, it costs about 259 ringgit, which I think is surprisingly low price. I thought it would be somewhere around 300 or 400 ringgit, but yeah, it's good. I highly recommend you to get a dashcam for your car, and if you're looking for a very good one that is pretty much future-proof, look no further than the DDPai Mola N3, because this is just amazing. But the app though, that is something that I do wish DDPai will improve, because currently if I wanna save a footage from this dashcam into my phone, it's not really that user friendly, and it's kinda confusing, because instead of saving the entire clip, because each clip is split into 30 seconds of footage, it streams like one whole video and then downloads them into your phone. I do find that streaming is a bit weird, because you do have to watch the whole footage in real time for it to save that particular period of footage. It's pretty difficult to find that specific time as well where you want to save it, but it works, but it's a bit clunky. And speaking of clunky, the settings menu for the DDPai Mola N3 in the app itself is also badly translated, and some of them are just overflowed with text, so I don't know what's going on. And yeah, the ADAS feature, I still can't find where to enable it. But despite all of its flaws, the DDPai Mola N3, for its price, it is still a magnificent dashcam that I can recommend to everyone that is looking for a dashcam within this price range, because it's featureful, very useful, and it provides clear pictures and videos, because that's what matters for a dashcam. And yeah, that's all we have to say about the DDPai Mola N3. Do leave your comments down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer them whenever we can, and we'll see you next time. And by the way, DDPai here is actually the short form for Ding Ding Pai in Chinese, Mandarin especially. DDPai means the pi as in take pictures or take video. Yeah. I'll see you next time.